Coming specifically to the Kashi Vishwanath temple and the case, Sadhguru, in the case of Ayodhya, I think people kept asking us, show us the evidence, where is the evidence, and so on. In this case, a lot of you who would have visited Kashi through Gate 4, when you go there, the first vision you have of the Gyanwapi Mosque, first of all, that is an oxymoron, a Sanskrit name, well of knowledge, for a mosque is a little odd. The western walls, the ruins are all the remains of a 16th century grand temple that was built there. And despite that, as you mentioned, we've gone through the peaceful route. Cases have been going on for 200, 250 years in this case, unlike Ayodhya.
Probably we like to argue in the court.
They're two argumentative Indians that we are. And now we have dumped them. They kept asking, where is the evidence? Now we have dumped them with 800 pages of Archaeological Survey of India's report that just came out last month or so, which details every little bit. So how much evidence is sufficient for those opposing the temple to actually say, we will agree? Does Aurangzeb need to come out of his tomb and say, yes, I did demolish it, and that is only when they will accept it?
See, most of the temple demolitions that happened, they always had a historian with them because in their mind, they wanted to be remembered as people who demolished this temple and demolished or destroyed idolatry and established whatever they think is the highest form of religion. So they wanted to be remembered as those people who destroyed this temple. So the proof today doesn't mean anything because they themselves have written very proudly that I destroyed this temple. And for example, in Mathura, the man who is writing down says, this is the greatest building I've ever seen in my life. So elaborate, so magnificently done. This cannot be the work of a man's hand. There is a divine hand in this. But they proceed to demolish. And it's all they themselves have written, you can't say that they wrote lies. This is because people who wrote our textbooks screwed up our minds so badly that we don't have a voice to say this is not right. And unfortunately, our legal system, political system, and education systems, very key three aspects of this nation, were taken over by those people for first 50, 60 years. And because of that, our own minds are like this somewhere. I've taken some time to turn my mind upside down. Otherwise, my school, college mind, though I barely went there, still it had influence on me because somewhere there is a sense of, as I said, it's become aspirational to be like the invaders. There is also a sense of shame to be the victim. So we don't want to be identified with that. If possible, we would like to change the color of our skin, not me, but a whole lot of people. There are movies like this where people are changing the color of their skin. Of course, there are cosmetics to change the color of your skin because somewhere invaders have become aspirational, which is a terrible thing to happen to any people. But it's happened. Fortunately, there is a revival and suddenly there's an upsurge and there is political will and suddenly judiciary seems to have found its feet. So, let's forget all this thing if we just go by the constitution of the day, which itself has some aspects because nobody ever can write a perfect book about anything. This is the dilemma of any book that you write. If you read it over 1,000 times, you will see still it's either this must go, that must come, that must go, this must come. This is the nature of the book. So constitution also, even Ambedkar did not claim it's a perfect constitution, a very well done work, but not a perfect book. Having said that, there are some issues, but even if you go by the present-day constitution, it's very simple. A blind man can see what is Gyanvapi. By Braille, you can see these are Hindu icons. It doesn't take anyone eyes to see it, but it takes 60, 70 years of legal process for the wise judges to see. And
Hope we don't…
No, contempt of court is only if I say something about the present-day judges. I'm talking about
the past.
the hoary past. So much delay and so much dilly-dallying has happened. I feel in many ways, any process, education, judiciary, whatever process that happens in a given land, one way or the other, is influenced, if not totally controlled, by the ruling class. So, when the ruling class were totally in that way, I think everybody found a gap in the constitutional process as to how to please the ruling class. So a time has come where there is upsurge of awareness in the nation, and I don't think the judicial officers can escape the upsurge of awareness, and they cannot rule anything in a way that is negative to the civilization and not in coherence with the constitution. We are not even asking for anything beyond the constitution. What is within the constitution must happen. Nobody can say no, because this is a right. I'm saying this because somebody had the temerity to pass a law in 1991 saying that citizens of India cannot go to court about certain aspects that matter to them. Nowhere in the world, no democratic nation can ever say a citizen cannot seek legal recourse. There is no such nation. Definitely, we don't want to be such a nation either. But a law like that was passed, but still we are hesitating to strike it down.